guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Has this ever happened to you? Stay tuned. I'd like to give a big old welcome to each and every one of you for stopping by. So today, we are going to do something for me that was a matter of necessity. As paper crafters, we often run into situations and times where we need something, don't have it, but in most cases, we probably have what we need to make it. And here's what I'm talking about. Can you guess what this is? This is a padded envelope. It is a large size padded envelope because that was what I needed. I made a really pretty little something recently that I wanted to send to a friend in California, but I didn't want it to get damaged. So I went on Amazon looking for large padded envelopes. They have them, but oh my goodness, they cost a lot. So normally what I'll do is I'll save bubble wrap that I get in items that I've ordered, and I'll use that bubble wrap whenever I'm packaging something up to ship. Well, I didn't have any bubble wrap, so I went back to Amazon and I decided, okay, I'll buy this large roll of bubble wrap, and from now on, I'll just make my own padded envelope, because I think the roll that I bought was 175 square feet, and I think it was about $22. So when I break that down and I add it to the cost of the paper, I really am making my envelopes for under $1. These two papers were 50 cents for the two. When I bought them, they were four for $1. So adding in the cost of the small amount of bubble wrap that I'm using, I'm able to make that envelope for under $1. And I'm able to make it so that it looks like exactly what I want it to look like instead of choosing from what's out there. So all of us are becoming more self-sufficient paper crafters. You know, the days of running to the store to get a bag or a box are so far behind us because we make them. And now we're making our own padded envelopes. So we are going to be eliminating a lot of that extra cost that comes from needing packaging. If you run your own small business and you're looking to keep costs down and you need padded envelopes to mail out, find a paper that you like, make that paper pattern your brand, and then make your own custom, one-of-a-kind padded envelopes. So y'all know what time it is. It is time to get started. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to need to make our jumbo envelope. And I have 2 pieces of 12 by 12 decorative cardstock. You can use medium weight or lightweight, whichever one works best for you. Then I have my bubble wrap, and I will be cutting this down. So I'll give you the measurement on that once I do cut it down. So we're going to take both of our 12 by 12 pieces, and we're going to score at 1 on both sides. And I'll rotate it and score at 1. And for right now, those are all of the scores that we're going to make. So now I'm going to take my tape and we're going to join these 2 pieces together. And I'm using a 1-inch tape. I don't have to use a 1-inch tape. It just happens to be what's out. You can use a 1/2 inch. You can use a 1/4 of an inch tape. But just use whatever you have and what works for you. So I am going to peel away that backer. So I am just going to join these 2 pieces, and I'm making sure that I have my 1-inch score marks aligned. Okay, so once we've joined these 2 pieces together, we are going to go ahead and just fold those 1-inch score marks that we made. I am going to use my big old spatula to give this a nice crease. So then what we're going to do is we're not going to bring out the scoreboard or anything. We're just going to eyeball it, and I am simply going to bring it up just like this, and however much of an overhang that you want, that's where you stop. So I know that I want a pretty wide overhang. And I already know that when I'm making this type envelope, it's larger than I need for what I'll be putting inside. And that's a good thing because you want to make sure that you have some extra space, top, bottom, and on the side. So now that we have this piece folded up, we're going to go ahead and take this piece and fold it over. But when I fold it over, I'm not going to fold it so that it butts right up against that. I'm going to leave just a little bit of space. And if you feel more comfortable placing it in your scoreboard, go ahead and do that. But I think you can probably get away with doing this very rustic, simple folding system to make an envelope. So now that we have it like this, we're going to come to the fold, go up to the score mark, and notch out a V. Go to the other side, do the same thing. Go up to that score mark and notch out that V. And then when we have this top fold here, we're also going to do that. So where that fold happens, you'll have a score mark on both sides of it. Just angle on one side and then angle in at the top, just like that. And we'll do the same thing over here. So just, and then angle in here. So we'll be doing this envelope a little bit differently from the way that we do envelopes normally. Usually we will remove all of this at the bottom. We're going to keep this because we want to be able to cover that bubble wrap so that it's not on the outside. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing differently. But what's going to happen is we're going to place the bubble wrap here, and then we'll fold this over, and we'll have our large envelope. So I'm going to bring in some of my bubble wrap, and when I place it down, I'm not going to place it so that it hits the score mark. I'm going to come in about 1/4 inch, and that's where I'm going to place it. And I'll do the same thing at the bottom. So at the bottom, we are going to leave about 1/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just fold this back. And now this tells me where I need to cut. And I'll give you the measurement on this in just a minute. So I am going to take my ruler, place it down, and just slice through that bubble wrap. And now when I put this down, I should have it inside of the top and the bottom, and I do. So now I need to remove some from the side. So I am just folding it. And I want to make sure that the sides aren't exact. I want to give myself about 1/4 inch on both sides. So I have that piece. I'm going to take my ruler again, and we're just going to trim away so that we have our nice little piece to create that bubble envelope. So I am just trimming. And so when we take this piece and we place it in, we'll be able to fold this over, and we will have a nice bubble envelope. So what we need to do at this point is we just need to place down some strips of tape. I am going to use my 1-inch tape. I'll come in, and I'll come up from the bottom about 1/4 inch. And then I'll stop at the top about 1/4 inch. And you can leave some spacing in between your tape. You can also use your tape runner if you want. I use my tape runner on the one that I actually made to mail, and it held that bubble wrap down pretty good, but I thought I'd demo it with you guys using my double stick tape. Now, I wouldn't stick the bubble wrap down with glue because the glue will probably warp your paper, and you definitely don't want that. All right, so all of my tape is down, and I'm just going to peel away the tape backers, and we're almost done. All right, so my tape backer is lifted up. My bubble wrap size is 9 1/8 by 20 1/2. So depending on how much of a top overhang you want, that measurement should work for you as well. I'll go ahead and give you the measurement on how far over I did this. So I gave myself a 1 1/2 inch overhang. So if you want to just put it in your scoreboard, if that's easier for you, score at the top at 1 1/2 inches, then these measurements will definitely work for you. So when you are taking the bubble wrap and putting it down, the bubble wrap has the the side with the bubbles, and then it has the flat side. It's the flat side that we want to use when we're putting this down. Okay, so we're going to take our bubble wrap and we're just going to place it down. And it looks like I placed it closer on this side than on that side, but that's okay because that actually catches and covers it. So I'm just going to take this, fold that over. Then I'm going to take my tape runner. On this side, I don't have any tape. So I'm just going to put some tape down here. Fold that over. And yeah, that makes a squeaky noise. And I'll fold that over. So now you can see that we have our padding in our envelope, and when you fold it, you'll notice just how sturdy this is and how padded it actually is. So there is a link in the description box for the bubble wrap that I'm using, or you can use bubble wrap that you already have, or if you have some of those Amazon bubble mailers, you can use those as well because they have the bubble wrap in them. You can just cover them in some of your pretty paper. All right, y'all, so now all we need to do is join this together, and I am going to take some glue, and when you place your glue, you're going to place it right on the edge of that bottom piece, and that bottom is the piece without the flap. So we're going to place it right along the edge, and I'll do it on the other side as well. And once you have that glue, you can just take it, fold it up, and I'm going to use my big old spatula to come in and just run it along the edge. And that's why we don't take the bubble wrap all the way to the edge, because we want to be able to get that nice grip between the two pieces of our paper. So the glue has definitely caught both ends of that paper. We now have a very large, nicely padded envelope, and when finished, this envelope measures 10.5 by 10. So to finish it off so that it can be sealed and mailed, I am just going to add some of my double stick tape. And you can place whatever you want to place in this envelope that needs protecting. You can put it inside of the envelope, make a label with your return address here and the address that you're sending it to right here. Just know that when you're mailing envelopes that are larger than the standard size envelope, you will incur some additional postage. I don't know the exact amount that you might incur because that is going to depend on where you're shipping it from in the United States to where you're shipping it to. And then, of course, I don't know anything about international rates. But if you're doing anything that is non-standard, you probably will have some additional cost. But isn't this just super cute? It was a super easy process, and we have something that we are making ourselves instead of buying what they have to offer us in the store or online. I am going to bring in that first one that I made so that you can see just how pretty these are. And those of you who have an Etsy store, packaging sells. If you're doing a craft fair, packaging sells. If you have someone that you want to give a gift to, sometimes the gift of pretty packaging is a gift all by itself. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have liked this quick and easy way that you too can make your own padded envelopes at home and not buy them at the store. If you have liked this video, please hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.